All right, all right. Okay, good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon. It's great to be with you all again this Sunday afternoon. Getting ready to watch the 1 o'clock slated games on NFL Red Zone. Told you I love the Red Zone because you get the chance to just, watch all the plays at once. I don't cheer for any particular team, although I'm in Philly and I love when the Eagles win because everybody seems to be a little bit nicer. So I appreciate that. Courtesy, etiquette, all of those things come out when the Eagles win. So I secretly cheer for the Eagles, but beyond that, not really. I cheer for everybody. We're glad you guys are making with me today. So we're watching all the scores, all the highlights. We might have some surprise guests come through, and we'll kick in for the half. But yeah, great to see you all. Answering questions as well as we get these games going, and just looking at where all the teams are at this point in the season, and looking at that playoff picture, who's going to do what, who's in, who's out, who's rising. It's the best time of the year for teams who are playing exceptionally well because this is the time you want to be starting to gel and figure yourself out as you get ready for that playoff push. So some teams are on the rise, right? We see what Dallas is doing out here. We see what the Lions did yesterday. We'll get into that a little bit later. But it's the best part of the season to me is because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of wear and tear. You fight through nicks, fight through major injuries. You see Aaron Rodgers trying to make a comeback with an Achilles rupture. I ruptured my Achilles, and what he's doing is just phenomenal and amazing. So, that's the kind of mentality you got to have, though, to be able to lead in the NFL. And clearly, Aaron Rodgers has that. So, shout out to Aaron Rodgers with the potential comeback at the end of the season, tearing his Achilles the first week of the season. Again, it's no short of amazing that he's been able to do that. So, shout out to the football version of A-Rod. So first couple of games we got going, get ready for is we got Chiefs, Patriots, Bucks at 6 and 7. Gosh, I remember the NFC East teams were in this position of way back when, maybe like 7-8 years ago, where you had a team with a losing record potentially going to win the division because the rest of the division was that bad, and that's how the NFC South is looking with the Bucks at a 6 and 7 and in first place of their division. So it's a weird but reality of the NFL is that when your division is that bad and you have a losing record, you can still make the playoffs and win your conference championship. So very strange. Win your division championship, I'd say. So very strange, but that's the reality of the NFL. I'm hoping somebody will fix that one day because that's just not. It just doesn't seem right. It's weird. But you see the Falcons at 6 and 7 as well, Bucks at 6 and 7. And you see the Dolphins who are in charge of their division, but can potentially slip up. So they got to finish strong. The Packers are ascending. They are trying to make that playoff push. The Saints at 6 and 7. All these teams in the NFC South 6 and 7. So weird to even kind of like say that. And all those teams are still fighting for a playoff position. The Texans suffered a tough loss, and I don't know if they're going to be with C.J. Stroud today, but they might. Who knows? C.J. Stroud's been playing really well, but the Texans are also in that playoff push. You see the Bills are 7 and 6. They're in the playoff push as well. Cowboys are in front of their division. I know Eagles fans are not happy about that. You hear it all the time. They can't stand when Dallas is doing well. I mean, it's funny, it's comical, and it's great. Competition from the fan base and the actual players. So you have the Bucks in Green Bay. When the early games going on this afternoon, and right now it's really Green Bay's division to lose because they picked up that win in New Orleans. So it's their division to really lose, and they're playing a struggling Packers team who's still trying to find their identity, trying to figure out what they got in love. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down today. And, breaking out the gate, the Patriots with a big return, about a 40-yard kickoff return, but it looks like it's coming back. So that's unfortunate. But that's been the story of their season, right? Just can't get right. You can't get right. They can't figure it out. And, from the quarterback position across the line, they're just struggling. So we'll see if they can, pull up an upset today over the Chiefs. All right, folks. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Um, yeah. So, oh yeah, you got the Giants and the Saints. So New Orleans could still be, of course, could still battle for their division. They're playing the struggling Giants, but a team who's actually winning with Tommy DeVito. He's doing playing really well. South Jersey guy, I think, or is it North Jersey? Not sure, but he's a Jersey guy. So it's pretty cool to see a Jersey guy having some success in the New York area. You know, that's always a big thing. If you're from the East Coast, you know how cool that is to have this guy with the last name DeVito doing well for the New York Giants. It's pretty cool. All right, and then you got the Browns and the Bears. So the Browns, they're in playoff position, they're in contention, but they got to put some wins together. They got to finish strong. And again, so this is the part of the season where you see all these the divisions, the conference, the playoff picture is really starting to take form. And these last three games, 2 to 3 games, are huge. They're very crucial for these teams who are trying to battle for playoff position. Cleveland's team was so good that even though Deshaun Watson's not there, they're still in playoff contention. They're still winning games. So that's a kudos to the coaching staff and the players for being more than one player. A lot of teams are just really they move as their top player move, and usually it's a quarterback. But the Browns are figuring out a way to win, so that's pretty awesome. Um, and you know we'll see how the playoff picture shapes up, and we'll see who does what today. Last week, my guy, my co-host is not with me today. Young Q Quentin, he's not with me today, but he gave some awards last season. He some surprise players he picked. We talked about the best players from each position, and I was very surprised. But you know, he gave some great insight on why he picked those players, and get a great analyst. Good job there, Q. He'll be on with us next time. When we try to shoot for the playoffs, we'll stream during the playoffs and try to get something going good for you guys. Baker Mayfield with a big play over the middle. The enigma of Baker Mayfield. You know, never know which guy you're going to get. Um, he's a hard worker. I like Baker Mayfield because he works hard. But the biggest knock on his game has been accuracy. And some of his passes are over or under. They're literally over unders to the targets, and so you know he's got to play better. He is playing well, but as you make this playoff push, you can't lose you can't lose games because your quarterback is having turnovers and not making plays. So we'll see what happens here. Switch to the Dolphins and Jets game. Big play from Tua Tagovailoa. And the Jets, so the Jets are interesting. Another interesting team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're out, but they're still going to push anyway. Zach Wilson had a great game last week. It's his best game I think of his career. Over 300 yards passing and maybe 3 touchdowns. So it was a great game he played last week. And I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for the team to have their backup player getting confidence, the guy they drafted in the first round. It's great to see he's getting some confidence and he makes some plays because you never know that could come up later in his career, even if it's not with the Jets. He's still the one thing about that's about the NFL is anytime you step in the field, you're creating game film, right? So even if he's not in New York next year, he's creating some film and opportunities for himself to play on another team. So every time he's on there, he's auditioning. Maybe not be for the Jets, but he's auditioning for some team that's going to want a quarterback that believes in his talent and thinks he can do some great things. So we'll see, though. We'll see. It's always about how you play. It's not about the pundits and not about, you know, us fans. It's all about the players on the play, executing the plays. So let's check out our division leaders so far this year. Right now in the playoff picture. And just again, I'm streaming through millions.co. Check out millions.co. It's a great platform of retired or current pro athletes across the board, whether it's MMA, mixed martial arts, basketball, football, baseball, whatever sport you're into. There's a representative, there's an athlete from that sport who live streams and answers questions from fans and interviews other great players or other great athletes. So it's a pretty cool platform. You can also get some merch from your favorite athletes if they are streaming on there. You got your Mind Your Mentals merch, so check out the merch on the website. And again, it's an awesome website. It's an awesome opportunity to engage with pro athletes, ask questions that you always wanted to answer, you always thought of, engage with them and get to know them on a personal level as much as they would like to share. I think it's a pretty cool setup. So check that out. You never know who's going to be on there. All right. So as for the playoff pictures, right now, the San Francisco 49ers looks like they've clinched their playoff spot. So they are in the playoffs, in the hunt in the NFC East. In the hunt in the NFC, the Ravens, number 1. Dolphins at number 2, and the Chiefs at number 3, and the Jaguars at number 4, with the Browns, Bengals, and Colts all on the heels of those teams. In the NFC East, you have, again, the Cowboys are first in the NFC East. You have the Lions first place in the NFC North. You have the Buccaneers first place in the NFC South. You have the Eagles who are second in the East, NFC East, and you have the Vikings 7-7 and the Packers 6-7. So there's still time for some of these teams to make their playoff run. And the teams who are on the bubble are the Texans at 7-6. They're in the number 8 spot in the AFC. And the Bills, so surprising, the Bills are 7-6. It's just been a weird season from the Bills, just because there was so much, and that's the thing about hype and potential, is like, you got to go out and perform. You got to go out and play. So the Bills are 7-6, and they're second out of they're second behind the Texans outside the bubble. So they have to really step it up and finish the season strong and put together some wins to win the division, and to actually third in the NFC South. So they got a lot of work to do. They have a lot of work to do because they have the Jaguars, who are first in the AFC South at 8-5, and they got to catch them in order to win the division to get in, because their record is they're at 7-6. So again, you got a lot of these teams are on a bubble. You have the Rams in 8th place in the NFC West, or in the NFC playoff picture. And then you have the Seahawks, who are 6-7, third in the NFC West. Again, the Falcons second in the NFC South. So again, you have all these teams who are really trying to make a push for these playoff spot. And the teams that come together, who know their identities, they know who they are, they know to do well, those teams that gel and come together right now, the teams that usually can push and string together 3 wins and make that playoff spot. Some of these other teams who are on the bubble, they got to figure something out, like the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are going to make it. They are 4th in their division at AFC North, and it's so surprising, just how much talent they have, but how much they are struggling to figure it out. And it's the cool thing about the NFL, and I think all sports, is like, you can have talent, you can't have talent, you have great coaching, and you got some luck. It's the combination of great coaching, great talent, some luck, and putting it all together that allows the team to be good, to allow the teams to be competitive, allows the team to win championships. And sometimes you're trying to figure that out during the season, even though you have a whole offseason to prepare. You have to play games. You have to gel together. You don't have to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses to really have a chance to play your best at the end of the season. So we'll see. I know the Ravens are coming together. They're looking really scary. They're my pick to go to lead the AFC, to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl. I think they have the most complete team. And I think they're a threat to the Niners. I think the Niners are a solid team too. But I think the Ravens defense can really shut the Niners down. And with ODB coming on, they got some great players who are on perimeter. And you got Lamar Jackson, who's playing really, really exceptionally well as a passer first quarterback. And I appreciate, and I'm going to say that because Lamar was they try to make him a one-dimensional player, and he's continued to work to become the balanced, dynamic quarterback that he is. He can hurt you with his arm or hurt you with his feet. Of course, we know that. And he's just been really playing some great football and scary. He's very scary. He hasn't had that 150-yard game that he used to do early in his career. And a part of it is because he doesn't have to. He's making the right plays. He's reading the defense. He's getting the ball to where it needs to go. And his receivers are really stepping up for him. So I have the Ravens winning their conference, coming out of the AFC and going to the Super Bowl. I'm not NFC wise. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who the Niners are. They got a great stretch, but they also lost 3 games in a row at some point during the season with the same players. So I'm not sure who they are, and their playoff success has not been great, right? I'm not sure who the Cowboys are. They're playing well, but you still got Dak, who sometimes can, and he hasn't this year. He's played great this year, but he can at any point throw 3 interceptions. And the thing that they've done well is to clean up the penalties, which was always something that, was with Mike McCarthy. He's got these more penalized teams, and that's why they shoot themselves in the foot. And it seems like they're playing better. Their O-line is finally playing like the all-pro O-line that they have been in the past. So that's been the big reason, I think, for Dallas's surgence, is because their O-line has played phenomenal football of late, and they're doing really well. Oh, my goodness, Zach Wilson. Oh, sheesh. Yeah, Zach Wilson, sack, fumble, touchdown. Oh, that was ugly. That was very ugly. And it's the woes for Zach Wilson continues. It was first and goal. They didn't give him a touchdown, but just got sacked, fumble, turnover at the 1-yard line, and gave the Dolphins probably the first 6 points of the game. This was ugly. And again, right? So, yeah, some of these guys, the decision making under pressure is the difference between a great quarterback and a mediocre quarterback. And Zach just struggles under pressure. He's chased out of the pocket, and then he turns and he goes to throw the ball as opposed to taking the sack when he should have thrown the ball in the first place, and he fumbles. So it's just, you got to make better decisions with the football. And he's just struggling to do that all season. Even though he had a great game last season, he's got his team in a position where they're going to give up 6 points, most likely. So it's very unfortunate, but you're hoping this guy's learning, which it doesn't seem he really is. So we'll see. All right, so switching over, we go into the Texans and Oilers, that Houston or that Texas showdown. Looks like the Titans are going to have the ball here on the 2-yard line as well. Excuse me, on the 1-yard line. It's a QB sneak, touchdown, Titans. I love this kid, Levis. I love Will Levis. I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback in the NFL. I think his arm, his strength, once he really learns the game, he's got all the tools to be a great quarterback in this league. So I'm loving what he's doing so far as a starter. He's learning, but he's learning fast. And he's like one of these guys who are, he's on to the next play. He's unflappable, it seems like. He doesn't get too emotionally wound up, except when he's hyped. He doesn't get down. He just continues to play consistently. So I really like his potential in this league. And the Dolphins get in with their first touchdown. Mostert, surfer dude, gets in with the first touchdown with the gift from Zach Wilson. So teams are off early, scoring some touchdowns. And these are a couple of games, because we had 3 games that happened yesterday. So we had the Lions with the win, the The Bengals with a great win yesterday, late field goal winning. I think it was overtime. It was an excellent game, and can't recall who played the third game, but a couple games yesterday. Teams picked up some great wins. And it looks like Pittsburgh's in the red zone, so they're getting ready to go in. Looks like the Green Bay Packers are in the red zone as well. They're getting ready to go in. Oh, that's a nice tackle on Aaron Jones. Stopped them from getting that first down. So a couple of predictions here from me. Let's talk about the NFC. So it will be easy for me to give the 49ers the clear path towards the Super Bowl. I'm not going to do that. I still think the NFC playoff picture goes through Philly. I still think Dallas is playing great, but I'm not convinced that they are ready to take that first step. Not seeing Tony Pollard run the ball like as much as possible, or like he used to, like Zeke used to. I'm not seeing that balance from Dallas. I think running the football in the playoffs is very important. And the teams who are going into the playoffs not running the football well, when you look at it, they don't play well. You see, they struggle and lose games. So because I feel like it's a balance. It can't just be on the arm of the quarterback, and that's how Dallas is playing right now. So unless they figure that out and get that together, they're going to find themselves relying on Dak. First and 10 throwing the ball, second down throwing the ball. They have to have a nice balanced attack. And I'm not seeing that. So I'm not sure if Dallas has enough to go all the way. I still think it's the Eagles. I still think the Eagles, top to bottom, even when you compare them, don't get me wrong, even when you compare them to the Niners probably have the most talent, but I think the Eagles play the best together. And so but it's the one thing I will say that Philly's got to figure out is how to keep Jalen Hurts healthy, and running the football is not going to cut it for Jalen Hurts. He looks hurt. He looks tired. He looks beat up. And you have to figure out how to get this kid through the next 3 games, through the last 2 or 3 games of the season, so he can go into the playoffs fresh. The worst thing you can do is go into the playoffs, limping into the playoffs, especially your starting quarterback. So they got to figure it out. They got to get those wins. They got to secure their spot in the playoffs. And then I think you shut them down. Right now they're 5th place in the playoff picture. If they can finish with these last couple of games, they get a win from the Seahawks. It's not going to be easy, but they got to go out there and secure the win. If they get a win and they secure a playoff spot, I think you shut them down, because this guy's been taking hits all season. Tush push is an awesome play, but that's more contact, right? And it doesn't matter if it's a dominant play. He's still getting hit every single time they do that play. So all those hits count. All those things start to accumulate. And so they got to figure out a better way to get the ball out of this guy's hands quicker. The O-line is not playing well. Call it out. It is what it is. They're not playing well at all. They are allowing too many sacks, too many pressures. He doesn't have time to operate in the pocket. So they got to pick that up. They got to do a lot better than they've been playing. And they got to pull it together and win these last couple of wins and shut him down and get ready for the playoffs. We'll see how it shakes out, though, because you just never know. Now, with that being said, though, the Niners right now playing the best football. Again, still don't know if they can make it. I believe Detroit is going to be the team that is the team to beat in the playoffs is Detroit. It's not even the Niners. In the NFC, the team to beat is the Lions. And the reason why is because the Lions are playing really, really well right now at this point in the season. They picked up a great win last night, dominating fashion. I didn't recall the Colts win as well. So the Lions are the team to beat in the NFC. when they come to the playoffs. The deciding factor, though, for the Lions is which Jared Goff are you going to get? That's always the thing, right? Which Jared Goff are you going to get? They got great running game. They have great receivers on the outside. They got a great D-line. Their O-line is solid. Great D-line led by, the Michigan man, Hutch. If you know who it is, go check him out. He's dominating again in the second year. He's just getting better and better. So they got all the pieces. They got a great, inspirational, motivating head coach. So they got all the pieces in Dan Campbell. They got all the pieces to do well and to move in the playoffs and make some plays. But it comes down to that quarterback play. It comes down to which Jared Goff you're going to get. Is he going to be good in the pocket? Is he going to take the reads and take what defense gives him? Or is he going to throw the ball away and get you two, three interceptions? And you can't have that in the playoffs. So it just depends on their quarterback play. If that quarterback can execute, they're going to do really well. If he can't execute, they'll make the playoffs, have a great season, but they won't have that opportunity to go far. And at this point, I don't think they're just happy to be there. I truly think they're out there trying to win a Super Bowl, and they have all the tools to do it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, so slate of games are going. We have 3-0. Oh gosh, yeah. Baker Mayfield, sack fumble on the 3-yard line of the. Oh, what a play! What a play! Is that the Michigan man, Rashad Gary? What a great play! I'm not sure. Sack fumble. No, it wasn't Rashad Gary. Sack fumble, and the Packers have the ball on the 6-yard line. They're going to go in and score a touchdown here. It looks like. We'll see. Screenplay. Touchdown. Green Bay gets the ball. Comes the quarterback play. Fumble in your opponent's territory on the 5-yard line, and you give up an easy 6 points. And these are things that you got to iron these things out as a quarterback. These are things you cannot let happen. If the worst thing you can do is throw the ball away, that's the worst you can do instead of fumbling the ball and giving up a play. It's unfortunate, but hey, you got to learn. Got to learn somehow. Let's talk a little bit about the defending the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Kansas City Chiefs. So interesting season from the Chiefs. What's missing? I think the obvious is, you can say the obvious is the receivers are not playing well. That's the obvious, right? Drop balls, lining off sides, all of these things. I want to say, though, I believe it's the O-line. The O-line is not playing well. And if you think about it, the O-line did not play well last season either, right? It was Patrick Mahomes making plays with his feet and end of the games that really saved them. But the O-line is not playing that well. He's got a lot of hurries. He's been sacked a bunch of times, taking a lot of hits. And so O-line play is never, you can never overstate the importance of O-line play in the NFL. Your O-line is the heart and soul of your team. Quarterback's great. You get all the flash, receivers, defensive ends, they get all the accolades, but your O-line is the engine of the team. And if you don't have a great O-line, you don't have the ability to reach the potential to use all the talent on offense or defense, right? Because on defense, if your team's getting sacked and turn the ball over a lot or punting the ball a lot, you don't have time to catch your breath. You'll find yourself on the field more as far as time of possession on defense than on offense. And then anytime your time of possession, your defense is on the field more than your offense, you're not in a good situation. You're not in a good spot, and you're really flirting with disaster, essentially. So your O-line has to be playing well. And yeah, the Chiefs O-line is not playing well. Their left to right tackle, I think the right tackles had probably one of the most penalized tackles in the league. He's getting beat off he's getting beat off blocks. I see him on pass rushes getting beat like all the time. So I'm not calling him out, but he's got to figure out a way to improve and get better. Your O-line play is crucial, and I think that's where Kansas City really, really has to get better with their O-line. I love their running back. I love all their running backs. I love Pacheco. Love Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I love what they can do. I think their receivers can step it up as well, but I think the O-line issue is bigger than the receivers issue because, yeah, you can figure out a way how to get the ball out of, you know, Patrick Mahomes hands to Travis Kelce all day. They have that connection. So I think their receiver issue is not as big as the O-line issue. And as I say that, they go in for the first touchdown versus the Patriots. So the Chiefs are up 6-0, looking like they're going to go up 7-0 here in the first quarter. All right. Bring you a couple more updates on scores. You had the Giants up 3-0 versus the Saints, and the Saints are they gotta win. They have to win this game. They have to win the rest of these games to put themselves in a position to make the playoffs, to win their division. So the Saints have to win this game, but they're down 3-0 to the New York 5-8 Giants, the G-men, as we used to call them, as they call them. Mm. So we got some comments here. Let's take some comments from Facebook really quick. Appreciate you, Wes. Appreciate you, J. Lou. Elijah, nah, I won't be in LA, man. Won't be in LA for that national championship. And you know what he's talking. He asked me if I'm coming to for the Rose Bowl. Won't be in LA for the Rose Bowl. But you know, I know my boy, you know, our boys are gonna take care of business. And we're gonna talk about a little college football while we at it, you know. 2 more weeks until the playoffs, and until the Wolverines get ready to go dominate the Crimson Tide. You know, everybody's going to be healthy on both sides of the ball. This time is always great for a lot of players who are dinged up or banged up to get healthy. So I'm specifically talking about the best cornerback in the league, and Will Johnson. I'm glad he's got some time to get healthy. We see what he can do when he's healthy. He'll shut down the best receiver in the country. So I'm looking forward to him getting healthy. I'm looking forward to the coaches putting a nice game plan together for Alabama. And again, talked about this a little last week, and I'll say it again. We're not scared of Alabama at all. We are not scared of Alabama. Alabama is just another team that's in the way of our destiny, I would say. I think, and I've said this a couple of times, the best teams Michigan has had in about the past maybe 20 years. Probably maybe the 2016 was a great team too. So I'll give them that team. That was an excellent football team. But I think this team collectively, they play well together. And they're just not unfazed by noise or anything. And they seem, and again, I don't know these guys personally, but just watching them play, they seem selfless, and they seem like everybody has one mind, a single mindset of winning a national championship. You see what's kind of going on. And I will say national championship playoff picture plays a big part in this, but you see what's going on with a lot of players entering the portal, the transfer portal. And, you know, I don't see a lot of Michigan guys transferring. And of course, again, understanding the playoffs are there. And also understanding that guys will take their opportunities right now because they have it to go where they want to go. But I see my Michigan team intact. I see everybody solid. They're all focused. They're ready to go get this playoff bag. We need the bag. We need to go get the bag. The first one comes in LA. We're gonna go to LA. We're gonna stay at the Beverly Hills Wilshire Hotel. We're gonna see all the stars, but we're gonna be unfazed by Rodeo Drive. We're not there for the nonsense. We're focused. We're locked in. We'll have fun, right? But we're gonna take care of business, right? And so we'll take care of business, and then we'll go see y'all down in Houston, and we'll take care of business. I feel like we can beat anybody of the last 4 teams. The last 3 teams that are left, we can beat any of those teams. I truly feel like this. And I think we will. I think we'll win. We'll be Alabama, and I feel like Michigan's gonna win the national championship this year. And that's just, oh my gosh, wide open touchdown. Come on. Oh gosh. Tunyon, come on, buddy. Drop the wide open touchdown. Well, it's a wide open pass, but he's going for a touchdown. But yeah, I feel like Michigan can really have a great run, and I feel like they will. So anybody can challenge me on that. I get it. You're a Bama fan, awesome. Texas fan, great. Washington fans, love Penix Jr. I think he's the best quarterback in the country, but it's not going to be enough. The Wolverines are going to dominate, and they're going to win the national championship, first one since 1997. That's my prediction, and I'm going to stick to it. All right, folks. We're coming towards the end of the first quarter here. First couple of games, you have the Browns and Bears at 0-0. You got the Packers up on the Bucs 7-0, 7-3. Chiefs are up 7-0 on the Patriots. And actually the Bucs they're in the red zone, so the Bucs are in scoring position. We'll see what they do here on third down. What's up, Big West? Good to see you, brother. It's been a minute. We got to catch up. Touchdown. Okay, Baker Mayfield, redemption. He made up for it. Those a nice dart to Mike Evans for the first touchdown of the game. And Mike Evans having a great season, 11 touchdowns this season. So he's looking like he's back to his Pro Bowl caliber self. And Baker Mayfield stays in there, throws a strike to put his team up 9-3. The field goal coming up, it'll be 10-3. So it's a great response. That's a great response from Mayfield and the Buccaneers offense. So getting back to playoff picture, I want to talk about the Jaguars a little bit. So the Jaguars are sitting in 4th place right now in the AFC playoff hunt. We saw they lost last week, and we saw the quarterback get hurt, but he was able to come back in the game. So these last slate of games are going to be really important. These games here that are going to be coming up, they're going to be, they're playoff games, and so you have to win out in order to give yourself a chance to make to the playoffs. So we'll see what they can do. I love their quarterback. I think he's having a great season. He's finally, with the right coach, starting to play some really great football. And we'll see if they can put it together. So the Dolphins are up. Switching to the Dolphins game, Dolphins up 7-0. Looks like they're approaching the red zone. They're on the 21-yard line. And I love what Mike McDaniels has done with this Dolphins team. I love the laid-back atmosphere. I love the fact that he understands the personalities that he has. A lot of coaches struggle with that, I feel. A lot of coaches struggle with, really Um, just awesome personalities. I'll just call it that. Tyreek Hill's a guy. He's awesome personality. Tua seems very, very humble, calm, but he has a confidence that's coming out of him now that I think that's really great. And they got great players. They got Raheem Mostert. They got a great defense. They have two of the best cornerbacks in the league, in Howard and Jalen Ramsey. So they got a great team. And you know, you've seen in the past. It's interesting. You've seen in the past where Jalen Ramsey has been portrayed as this personality guy, this difficult guy, but haven't heard any negative things about Jalen Ramsey in this season, and he's just playing great football. So to me, that tells me the coach has really been able to allow guys to be who they are, and perform exceptionally well. And that's a shout out to Coach Mike McDaniels and what he's been able to do so far this year with the rollie. I think he had a rollie on it or one of those type of watches, but it's pretty cool. I love his story. I love watching how he operates. I love his mic ups. They're so cool. He's just very laid back and chill. He's not your typical NFL coach. And I think players are responding to that. And it's one of them things, mark my words, it's one of them things in free agency that players watch out for. Players really like a coach who allow them to be who they are. So long as it's not detrimental to the team, of course, right? But he's really the kind of guy you want to play for because he understands personality. He's a football guy, so he's smart. He's been working in the NFL, I think, for like 15, 20 years, and he's young, so he's grew up in the league as well, in a sense. And he really does get it, of course, he has to go out and win a division, win in the playoffs, but I feel like some of the best free agents are going to come down to check him out. All right, all right. What we have here? Oh, Dolphins started 15. They're on the 20. They're on the 20 on the 24. Let's see what they can do here. Oh, no, he's not going to make it. Complete pass to Jalen Waddle, but they're about 4 yards shy of the first down. He's probably going to take the field goal here. Fourth and 4. They're going to try to make them jump off sides. Yeah, they try to go for offsides and they'll kick the field goal. So it looks like Dolphins going to take the field goal attempt here and try to go up 10-0 over the Jets. Tennessee still up 6-0 over the Texans over that in-state game. Sorry, Tennessee, not I'm thinking of the Houston Texans. Sorry, Tennessee Titans. And I love what Ryans has done with this team this year. They weren't expecting much from him, but with the emergence of their quarterback, it's just been really fun to watch them play. Oh, and as I say that, the backup quarterback throws a pick six. Tennessee goes up 12-0. And again, not sure what he was seeing. Elijah Molden with the pick six. They're going up 12-0 over the Texans. Is that Case Keenum? Who's the quarterback? Let me see there. Yep, Case Keenum. Not sure what he was seeing here. They're in zone coverage. The first number one, number two doesn't come open. He tried to look him off, but he didn't. Oh, it looks like miscommunication between him and his running back coming out the backfield. Looks like he was expecting him to settle. The running back was running kind of an arc route out of the backfield and unfortunately threw an interception. So Tennessee's up 13-0. Elijah Molden with a pick six. Oh, don't lose that ball, buddy. All right, folks. Again, this broadcast is brought to you by Millions.co. Check it out. Some of your favorite athletes are on Millions.co. Taking questions, giving you real insight into what they do in different sports and different things like that. So check it out. Get your merch. Get your mind, your mental. Get your mind, your mentals merch. Scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner, and grab you some mind, your mental merch for the holiday season. Remind you to take care of your mental health. It's very important as we go into this holiday season that we take time to rest. Rest is so important. I had the wonderful opportunity yesterday to attend a mindfulness retreat, and it was such a beautiful experience of just taking time to meditate, reflect, do some movement, mindful walking, some mindful stretching. It was a great day. It was a silent retreat. Really helped to get me recentered and bring a sense of freshness. I felt so. It's important to take care of your mental health. I already decided to do it. Your mental health is important, but really spending time and taking care of yourself and not letting the pressure of the holiday season rush by without you actually taking time to rest. So folks, if I could leave you with anything today, take time to rest, whatever it looks like for you, let that be for you. If it means like telling the family, hey, I need some time, take some time. You deserve it. You're working hard out there. You're doing your thing. You're doing well for them, and you deserve to rest. And it doesn't have to be big rest, meaning vacations are awesome. They're great. Massages are awesome and great. But taking some time for yourself, however that looks like, is really important. So make sure you take care of your mental health this holiday season. All right. So Jets get another crack at it with Zach Wilson, and he's going down again. Oh, my gosh. I will say this. The Jets O-line is not really playing well either. I think Zach Wilson gets too much flack. Their O-line is playing terrible. Like every time you see them, somebody's in the backfield in the quarterback's face, from Aaron Rodgers to Zach Wilson. So they're blaming the team or the quarterback, but their O-line is not good. And I think they don't get enough of the blame for how bad the season is going. I think that you got to hold them accountable. They're not playing well. Injuries happen, but every time you look, there's a defender in the backfield, and their quarterback's on the ground, and that's been happening actually for the past 2 or 3 years. Matter of fact, if you watch their games, you see a lot of times Zach Wilson's running for his life. Somebody's in the backfield as soon as they snap the ball, and it's terrible. So Jets fans, gotta get with your old line. They're really a big cause of their disappointment this year, and they're not getting enough of the blame as Zach Wilson gets. So I think you got to look at that O-line and say, man, like, you got to step it up. Especially you got Aaron Rodgers doing everything he can to come back. I think he shouldn't come back. I think he shut him down. And you go to the market and you get some new O-linemen, because you can't have the same thing happening again to a guy over 40 years old. I'm 41, and I still feel all the aches and pains of my career playing football. So I could imagine, you got Aaron Rodgers at 40, 41, trying to come back again next year. He does not need to be taking as many hits as he's taken this year in that short amount of time, and as much as Zach Wilson's taking. So y'all got to go You got to go to the market and get some great players for your O-line, because that's where your problem is. Your problem's not a quarterback. Even with Zach Wilson, your problem's at the O-line, and you got to go figure that out. So let's talk about the 1-12 Panthers. Same thing in Carolina. Clearly, they have no chance of making a playoff. They're 1-12. So there's a lot of work to do in Carolina. I think the quarterback, I don't know if he's the guy. I'm not sure if Young is the right guy for the position. But I'm also sure that, well, what I am sure of is that no matter where, if you're that great quarterback or not, if you can't get pass protection, then you have no choice. So they have to shore up their O-line, number one, and they have to figure out a way to play defense better this offseason. But I think it starts with their O-line to really get them to that next level. They got some good players on the outside. Chuba Hubbard's great at the running back position. I think he's going to be a great back. The more carries he's going to get better. But I think their O-line really, really needs some improvement. They have to figure that part out of their team and go to the market. It's interesting because the O-line position, it's hard to get great O-linemen because across the board, there's not a lot of great O-linemen in the NFL. But you have to be able to go get the kind of guys that can play well together. You don't have to have great individual players on O-line. It's awesome. It's a benefit if you do. You have to have guys who can work together and be great together on the O-line. And so that's the kind of personalities you have to have. Guys who are exemplary players who can work together, because that's O-line is all about the communication, combo blocking, pulling, great technique. If you can find great technique and guys who can work together, you have the opportunity to have a great O-line. But they got to go figure that out. And those are the kind of guys they got to go get when the free agency hits this offseason. DeVito with a big pass to who is that? Darren Waller. Huge play over the middle. Complete from DeVito. From Tommy DeVito. It's come up short. So the Patriots are in the red zone, but they come up short on 3rd and 2. Looks like they're probably going to take the field goal. And so Bailey Zapp got the starting job. Mac Jones. So the question is going to be, was Mac Jones a product of the University of Alabama, or was Mac Jones a great quarterback in a bad situation? And it's hard to believe, hard to even say that, because you're talking about playing for the New England Patriots, one of the great organizations in the NFL. But his play has not been good. So if you compare the two circumstances, he's probably the benefactor of a great Alabama team. Oh, and Bailey Zapp for the touchdown. Patriots to Hunter Henry. What a great play. They went for on a 4th down. They got it. Great play there by the New England Patriots. It's a simple flag route. It's interesting. Simple flag route, and it looked like they're playing cover 2. Not sure how that got wide open, but okay. Or they're playing man, it looks like. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it was Mac Jones, the benefactor of a great Alabama system, meaning like great players all around you, and all you had to do was not mess up. And he won a national championship, because he had a great receiver in Devontae Smith, and Devontae Smith essentially carried them to a national championship win But it's unfortunate. And what's going to happen to Bill Belichick? Who knows? Who knows if he's time to move forward? They're talking about him possibly going out to San Diego or to the Chargers because of they took a butt whooping from the Raiders early this week. It was pretty bad. But they're talking about him going out there, going out west, and I could see that because you got a great quarterback in Justin Herbert. So you already got a great quarterback with years of experience under his belt. All you got to do is go help him fix those little things, help their team get those fundamental things in order, and they could make a great playoff push, a good playoff push next year. Who knows? But I think it is time to part. Sometimes, the relationship tends to go different ways, and that's what it seems like was happening in New England, where Bill Belichick's not able to corral the guys to get to that next level, to even be competitive, quite honestly. And that's been over the past 3 years. So I think it's time for Bill to move on, let some fresh new perspective and new blood. Rob Kraft allowing some new philosophies to come into place, and maybe it's time for new identity, time for a new approach. Who knows? But I do think it's time for Bill to move forward. Not taking anything from him, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, football coach in the NFL by the numbers, by the championships. But I think it might be time for him to move forward. Can't take anything from what he's done, what he and Tom Brady were able to do. Another Michigan man, we're all over the place. That's what we do. But I think it's time for them to move forward. So, a couple of updates. The Bears are knocking on the front door. First and goal, second and goal, actually. Bears are trying to go in for the first touchdown over the Browns. So we'll see what happens here. All right, folks. We are in the second quarter of our games here. And the Bears go in for, no, they're short. They're short. Oh, Green Bay, Tampa Bay's tied 10-10. Oh, Baker Mayfield. Offsides. Sheesh. Oh, gosh. Bears going for the touchdown, but their tight end jumps off sides, and so they're going to lose 5 yards here. Repeat second down, and they're going to have to throw the ball. Cole Kmet jumps off sides. Yeah, he's at the end. Yeah, anyway. Oh, what a play. Interception by the Patriots. Patrick Mahomes throws picks, and he throws his helmet. Mahomes is struggling a little bit, but he's going to pick it up. He's going to put it together by the time the playoffs come together. But, man, if they don't take care of it, they could allow somebody else to sneak in there. So they got to take care of business because, yeah, they are they're in third place, but they got to secure this spot. Got to take care of business. That's all it comes down to, and get these wins. You got to beat the Patriots here. You can't come to Foxborough and give this game up. This is a big game. It shouldn't be an easy win, but you can't lose this game. That's for sure. Justin Fields, scramble touchdown. What a play by Justin Fields. Cole Kmet made up for it by catching a touchdown. What an excellent scramble for a touchdown. Great job, Justin Fields. And the Bears go up 6-0 against the Browns, and the Browns really need this win. They cannot afford to lose this game. We'll see what happens here. Second and goal, New England. Let's see what they do here. Nowhere. Zeke tries to get it to the outside, but it's not able to get it. Third and goal. We'll see what they can do here. All right. All right, folks. Well, listen, we're going to end a little early today. It's great to hang out with you all. And we will see you again in the playoffs after these last couple of games of the season ends. We will see y'all in the playoffs, and we'll have some great watch parties for the playoff run. It's been great hanging out with you for this first quarter and a half. This is the Mind Your Mentals podcast. Check out some of our old shows on Spotify, Apple Music. You can catch us on themillions.co, some of our previous episodes. And again, we'll see you all in the playoffs. Have a great holiday season. Mind your mentals. Remember, stay present, stay positive.